Welcome back, everyone. I'm Roger Bodwin, the president of Restaurant Rockstars. And once again, I'm proud to be working with Performance Foodservice to present Restaurant Success, the series. In this final installment, number 5, I'll be covering building your brand, your restaurant brand. So important. But I want you to know that there's more in the series, and I help you go back and tune into each one. I've also covered leasing, owning, or buying an existing restaurant. The logistics of starting your first restaurant, that is everything you need to know to open the doors to your first place. Building your dream team. I'm going to talk more about that in this installment, as well as the all-important cost controls and how to maximize profit in your restaurant. But first, a little more about me. I've been in this business over 2 decades, and I'm proud to say that I created 4 high-volume, high-profit restaurants from scratch. And I'm proud that my systems that I created doubled my net profit over that of the average full-serve restaurant in this country. I'm also the host of the weekly Restaurant Rockstars podcast, as well as a personal restaurant coach and consultant. Let's talk about Performance Foods. They've been great partners of mine. I've been a customer of theirs for 21 years. Great people, great products, and great service. You also are in good hands with Performance Foods. Let's get started. We'll start with your logo. You know, it's kind of the foundation of brand building. It's the image you want to present, and more importantly, it's how you want your customers to feel about your business. You've got some choices here. You can create a black and white logo, which is cost effective, it's less money, or a 4-color logo, which costs a bit more whenever you print something, but of course it's more dynamic. There are ultimate font choices, right? We've all seen on our computers how many different fonts there are, but it has to be on brand and on strategy. You want your font to convey that image of your restaurant as well. You might even consider having a graphic artist create an illustration. If you've got a special building that's really got curb appeal, and we'll talk more about that in a moment, you might have an illustration done. So everything begins with a logo. Now, know that you could possibly work with a graphic artist on trade. Now, I did this for many, many years. There are a lot of talented people out there that just might create your logo in exchange for trade in your restaurant. So instead of, paying them cold hard cash, you're paying them pennies on a dollar in food and beverage at your place. Let's talk about packaging. Now, you might have a story. Is there a special story that goes with how you created your restaurant, or a way of doing business, or a secret recipe? This is all marketing and powerful brand building information. But in any event, you want your logo to appear on your packaging, whether that's pizza boxes, to-go containers, napkins, coffee cups. You get the idea. You can see how recognizable this is. I'm sure everyone knows that this is Starbucks logo. So packaging is super important as well. Let's talk about visibility and curb appeal. Now, whether you lease your space or you own the property, you want everything to be spotless. You want to create an image from the sidewalk or the street that instantly compels people that want, to want to go to your place, to check it out. Most people driving by have never been to your place. They don't know the first thing about it. So how you decorate the outside and how appealing it is from the street determines whether those people try the restaurant. It all begins with lighting and signage. Your sign is super, super important. Does that tell people what you're about? Is it colorfully lit? Do you have white lights that look really, really festive outside? Is there a fresh coat of paint on your building? No litter is super important, as well as clean windows. That all plays a part and creates impressions in your restaurant. Same with burned out light bulbs. You don't want any of that to be visible. You want to take care of that and make sure that the, impressions that you're leaving are super positive. How about the landscaping? Is the grass recently been cut? Do you have nice shrubbery around your business? Are there flowers spilling out of, flower boxes? How about outdoor tables? That's become super important during the COVID crisis. Having an exterior space, especially during the warmer months, with umbrellas, maybe even fire pits on those cooler days, or, those heaters that stand up. You can see one in this photograph. All of that adds curb appeal. Is your place inviting? Take a walk outside and put your customer hat on and see what the customer sees. Let's talk about your website. I've always believed that a great restaurant website actually brings the restaurant experience to life for the customer as if they're in your place, even if they've never visited before. What image does the website convey? It's all about the food, the service, and the ambiance. And again, you want to bring that experience to life via digitally over the computer or over the smartphone so that people instantly want to try your place. Your logo is important. That should appear obviously on the website, as well as your colors. When you come up with a brand and a logo, you'll have certain colors that you use that are on brand and on strategy. You'll want your menu to be visible on the website and easy to find. Online ordering has also become super popular and important during COVID. It's a convenience for your customer. Optimized for mobile. You want that website to look just as good on a smartphone as it does on a computer or a desktop. Easy to navigate, super important. And you'll want a special events calendar if you're doing special events like live music or entertainment or upcoming promotions or events. Any of those things are important to convey to your customer. And then most importantly, you want to build a database so that you can communicate with your customer. And the only way you can do that is by capturing email addresses so that you can share upcoming events, new menu items, special promotions, anything exciting that's happening at your restaurant. You want to create that interaction with your customer digitally. Social media. That has become the most powerful and most cost-effective way of promoting or marketing your restaurant. You know, it's a way to grow your followers and really expand your reach. Now, the most popular platforms, of course, are Facebook and Instagram for restaurants because they visually present what your place is all about. It's like an extension of your website. You'll, of course, want to feature your signature items, the interior space or ambiance, atmosphere of your restaurant, the vibe. You want to convey all this, as well as show photos of your staff and customers interacting and having great times in your place. Again, this is super cost effective. It costs you next to nothing to use social media. If you post those, or I should say if you boost your posts, and if you don't boost them, it's absolutely free. Now, if you're not a guru on social media, chances are you've got 10 staff people that are all over it, and you can empower one of them to do your social media posts. Let's talk about your dream team. They're really brand ambassadors for your business. They're the foundation of your business because they interact with each and every customer and know that every impression in your restaurant counts. And that all comes down to training. You want every impression of your restaurant to be a super positive one. It's all about training your staff to educate, inform, and entertain your customers, to make friends with your customers every day, and to treat every customer like an old friend, even if they're a first-time visitor. That comes down to service and that magic word in this business, hospitality. You know, that's the foundation of this business, but sales are the lifeblood of this business. So you also need to train your people how to sell. And you also want a collaboration, communication between your front and back of house. When all this is done seamlessly, your customers can tell that your place is dialed like a Swiss watch and your team have been well trained. Let's talk about internal marketing. Now, over the years, I've worked with lots of restaurants, and I've seen lots of restaurants spend tens of thousands of dollars on traditional advertising and marketing. I've always believed this is a shotgun approach because there's no real way to track the return on investment or how much business comes back based on what you spent for that advertising. So internal marketing, using everything inside and outside your space to draw attention to your business, to draw attention to your specials, anything that's unique and different that sets you apart from the competition is all internal marketing. Your staff are brand ambassadors for your business. We talked about this. Your customers can be brand ambassadors for your business. If they're having great times and if they're loyal to your place, then they're on social media sharing your marketing for free. Internal chalkboards, they look great and they present your menu in a giant or a larger format. Also, framed announcements throughout the restaurant, in the ladies' room, in the men's room. There are certain places to present messages in frames, as well as table talkers on the tables, talking about what's unique, special, upcoming events, most profitable items, all of these things. And know that they're also props for your staff to use to bring the food and experience to life. That's internal marketing. Let's talk about logo merchandise. It's a powerful profit center, an added boost to your marketing firepower. Impulse sales happen in restaurants all the time. When people see things, they buy things. And there's so many different items that you can offer for sale. People like logo t-shirts and sweatshirts and, flasks for liquor, brandy, that sort of thing, and pint glasses for beer. If they all have your logo on it, chances are you can sell it easily. And I recommend that all this happen at the host counter. Create a little merchandising display for your merchandise that people impulsively see and buy. As they're entering the restaurant, it plants a seed. As they're leaving the restaurant, they'll buy it. And know that you can also train your staff to sell it at the table. How about having a photo contest? I did this every year for years, and it was really exciting. It was a way to sell more merchandise and then have a contest anywhere in the world. Send us an 8x10 photo of you or your family wearing the merchandise in an interesting place somewhere in the world, and we're going to have a huge contest in a couple of months. Send in those entries, and maybe you'll win a great prize. And what did we do? We literally covered all the walls of the interior of our restaurant with all these amazing photos of people wearing our merchandise all over the world. And it's interesting for customers to see, and it also sells more merchandise. And it also increases your check average. So think about what you can do and it builds your brand. It's like having an army of people that love your place walking around the streets of your town wearing your merchandise. Really powerful stuff. Let's talk about affinity. I define that as a powerful sense of belonging, customer loyalty. It's that Cheers formula. People want to go where everyone knows their name. You want to treat every customer like they're an old friend. Now, point of sale systems today have mag stripe cards that will track spending so you can keep track of who your biggest spenders are and you can reward those people. Gift cards, frequent visitor cards, all these things are marketing tools that create affinity. But perhaps the most powerful thing of all is creating a mug club. You can see in this photograph, there's a mug there, and it's actually a 20-ounce mug when a standard pint glass next to it is 16 ounces. You can sell memberships to a club, whether you sell coffee, whether you sell beer, mixed drinks, or wine. You can have a mug club where people will actually pay you to belong to the club. In exchange, you offer them VIP service and a small discount on the beer, and you'd be surprised at how much more often these people come into your restaurant. Instead of coming in once or twice a month, they'll come in several times a week because they now belong to your special club. And then they'll share that and they'll tell everyone they know to come in and join your club. Let me give you an example. I started with 50 mugs so many years ago because I had a bar that served draft beer. I then expanded that to 100 and 200 and 500. When I sold that restaurant in 2014, we had 1,200 people that paid us $50 every single year for the privilege of belonging to the Mug Club. That was amazing cash flow. That was $50,000 plus in free and clear cash. It didn't cost me anything because I had a sponsor that paid for the mugs and paid for the special Mug Club t-shirts and all the value added that we provided. There's a lot of detail to this, but just know that I have a system for that as well, and I can teach you how to build a Mug Club. I want you to know that for true restaurant success, all you really need are just three things. These are systems: cost controls and profit maximization. Go back and tune into that installment. A dream team staff. There's a special installment just on creating the dream team, as well as this one on building a brand. All of these are systems. Now, know that there is a turnkey, powerful package called the Restaurant Rockstars Academy that teaches you everything you need to know to open the doors to your first place and then how to successfully and profitably operate it. All the systems we've talked about are included in the Restaurant Rockstars Academy. So where do you get it? Go to the OneSource Solution Partners page at performancefoodservice.com/OneSource. We're also providing a 10% discount exclusively for performance customers if they go to the OneSource page, again, at performancefoodservice.com/OneSource. And don't forget, I don't want you to miss all the other installments that we've covered. Leasing, owning, or buying an existing restaurant, the logistics of starting your first place, building the dream team, cost controls and profit maximization. All of these are systems. They're all available in the Restaurant Rockstars Academy at the OneSource page at performancefoodservice.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I wish you the best of success in your restaurant endeavors.